What's going on, Wolfpack? Time again for another wolfofbricks.com update. I am Jim, and of course, this is where we talk about Lego investing and reselling. Alright, so we're just going to get into the main topic today, and that is purchasing Lego from a third party, i.e. another reseller, right? So this is a video I decided I should make because I have, over the course of the last 6 months, it's been the most I've had people come up to me and approach me, and they've said, hey, I've been approached by these people to buy some Legos from them. They're either getting out of the business or there's other reasons, things of that sort. And I've also had a lot of people approach me over the last 6 months, and they've said, hey, would you like to buy my Lego sets? And for full disclosure, I have yet to purchase any Lego sets, and I know there's some people on here that have reached out to me and have asked me to, and I have yet to find the greatest deal, right? So I thought it would be beneficial to make this video because there's potential for another Great Recession, right? A recession is a time where you separate the men from the boys and the women from the girls, right? And that's going to be Lego inventory as well. So there will be a lot of consolidation over the next 3 to 4 months, potentially, right? So for me, these are some best practices that I would like to share with you. The first one is vet the seller. You better vet the crap out of them if you've never heard from them before, right? It's not like you have a e-commerce business-to-business relationship, right? Where you're like, okay, I'm going to buy 50 sets now and 50 sets a month from now and stuff like that. You may just have a seller who is a bona fide legitimate reseller that is either closing up their Amazon business for personal reasons or they're just wanting to get out of the game in general. And you need to make sure that if you do a deal, that you're not getting a call from the cops and you're not getting, you just want to make sure everything is bulletproof, Loctite. Examples of vetting, you definitely want to ask them why they're selling them. You want to, kind of gauge how long they've been doing Lego, right? And what successes they've had in the past. You're wanting to make a lot of small talk with them, right? And if they don't want to answer all of those types of questions, this may not be the best deal for you. In addition to vetting, you want to ask as many questions as possible. Well, Jim, isn't that the same as vetting? Well, yes and no, right? I mean, you want to get their full name. You want to get their address. I mean, if you're doing a deal of $10,000, $15,000, you're going to want to get their information. You're pretty much going to want to get everything off their driver's license. And just for fun, ask them if you're able to get a copy of their license, or you take a picture of their license when it's time for the deal. And you'll do the same thing too, right? That way you're covering everybody else's back. Just for fun, the holidays are here. You're going to want to ask them, hey, how many kids you have? We're in the holiday season, right? So you could say, hey, I got all kinds of stuff going on with my kids this holiday season. How about you? You're just wanting to get as much information as possible. The spouses, a dog, tattoos. You're probably not going to be able to get what kind of tattoos they have, but you're going to want to get as much information as possible. You're also going to want to ask for references, right? Because here's the thing. If somebody is posting this online, or even if somebody's emailing you, right, they should know other resellers. They don't necessarily have to know these resellers in person, but in some sort of virtual relationship, right, where you could go and you could talk to this other person and be like, hey, so-and-so gave me your name as a reference. Is this guy legit? Oh, yeah, he's been reselling for 5 or 6 years. There's some things that have happened in his life where he's just wanting to close up shop, or he's just wanting to get out of the game because he's turning 65 and he just wants to relax. There should be some references. If there's not, you may want to make a mental note of that and put it in your pocket when it comes time for you to make a proper decision. The fourth thing you want to do is you want to ask for their inventory, right? You're going to not just want to ask for their inventory, you're also going to want to see pictures of their inventory. And I have had that happen more than one occasion for myself. I've had people email me Excel spreadsheets of their inventory, and then I've gone ahead and I said, you know what, things kind of look good. Do you mind if I see some pictures? And, there will be pictures of inventory either in a living room or a bedroom or something like that, which is a great thing because you're able to verify all of that information. The next thing you're going to want to do is, of course, do due diligence on these sets. Now, these are sets that you should maybe not already own, but you should already have in your periphery, right? Like there may be that one Duplo set that you've never gotten into Duplo before, but you've thought about buying it, and oh, look, it's on this Excel spreadsheet, right? You should do your due diligence because you want to make the best decision as you possibly can. The last thing you want to do is just briefly scan an Excel spreadsheet and say, you know what, everything's good, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I remember back in 2012, I was on a lot of purchasing pallet forums and Facebook groups and stuff like that. I'm actually thinking about doing another video on purchasing pallets because that video is no longer available, and I think it's useful to the reseller community. But there would be times where people would say, hey, I've never bought a pallet before and I've been told that there's a lot of good Amazon returns in this. Should I just go ahead and purchase it for $5,000? And I'm not joking. There would be people that would be like, heck yeah, go ahead and do this. And this was back in 2012 where the technology wasn't as abundant as it is now and the resources. And I was like, you're going to do what? You want to go ahead and do your due diligence and make sure you're making money on these sets. The seventh thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and make that offer. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to ruffle some feathers when I say this. And when I say it, I'm sure there's going to be some people out there that are going to say, I can't believe you just said this, Jim. Do you have any idea what you're doing? Here's the deal. If I'm purchasing inventory from another person because they're getting out of the game, there are two offer numbers that I have in mind. And again, it is just the way it is. If these sets are not retired, I'm offering 50%. If these sets are already retired, I'm offering 70%. Now, there will be a lot of people, and trust me, I used to sell cars, right? There would be people that would want to do a trade-in. We'll go ahead and we'll take a look at their BMW and we're doing the appraisal, right? And while they're waiting for the appraisal, the customer, they will go out and look at that same BMW model that we're selling and they will expect to get an offer at that price. It's just not the way it's going to happen. And there will be a lot of bravado and a lot of flexing. I understand what I have and you're trying to take advantage of me. Listen, it is what it is. You're the person that's trying to get rid of your inventory, not me, right? I'm giving you a cash offer. And if you have $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $70,000 worth of Lego, I think the highest amount that someone emailed me was $80,000 worth of Lego, and none of it was retired. Guess what? I'm offering $40,000. And here's the deal. It's not costing the potential seller anything to send an email or make some phone calls or things like that. And it's not costing the potential buyer anything to make an offer and all that other stuff. So if you don't like the offer, don't get emotional. If you get emotional, I mean, you need to do some soul searching as to why you're getting emotional. But an offer is an offer. You could take it or leave it. And the last best practice is do the deal in person, right? You're going to want to inspect the inventory. It's one thing if you see pictures of it. It's another thing to actually see it. And if, you know, I live in the Midwest, if there's somebody in Oregon that's selling Lego and I'm not willing to drive to it, then I'm just not going to do the deal. I am not going to wire somebody $50,000, $60,000, have a truck pull up their inventory, and a few days later it comes up to my house and I'm like, what do you have? I know quite a few people that are in the Funko business, and when I say the Funko business, I'm talking about buying at the lowest of the low, not necessarily flipping and holding, right? And there was one time where they were sending their truck to pick up a bunch of wholesale Funko from an actual business. Well, along the way, they also found somebody on Craigslist that was selling a bunch of Funkos, and that interested them, right? So they went ahead and they stopped there and they inspected the inventory, and the inventory looked nothing like it was in the picture. And they said, listen, the original offer was around 30 to 40% off of the retail price. Because we see the damage on it, we're actually going to go 50 to 60% off retail price. That person was angry and upset, which I might understand he's probably spending that money he thought he was going to get in his head on something else already, but the deal wasn't done. And so they just moved on and they went to pick up the wholesale Funkos from a vendor, and then they went back home and everything was fine. So you're definitely going to want to do the deal in person, and you're definitely going to want to inspect that inventory. So that's it, my friends. If there's anything you think I missed when it comes to best practice, I would definitely love to hear it in the comments section below. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, my name is Jim with wolfofbricks.com. Always go out there and get it.